Recently, Trump Jr. and his girlfriend were at a Turning Point USA event. Keep in mind, Turning Point USA is a right-wing college group. And while he's at the event, you see him getting booed. I want to play this video, and I want you to pay specifically attention to how his girlfriend freaks out on the crowd.
It's probably no surprise that Donald Trump Jr. and his girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, were met by protesters inside a public appearance they had at UCLA over the weekend. He was there to promote his new book, which is a lot about bashing the left. And here's what happened when he took the stage and was trying to explain why the question and answer portion of this program was being canceled.
Name a time where conservatives have disrupted even the furthest leftists on a college campus, right? It doesn't happen that way. We're willing to listen. We're willing to listen. See what I mean? And that is the problem. And the reason oftentimes it doesn't make sense to do the Q&A is not because we're not willing to talk about the questions, because we do. Now, it's because people hijack it with nonsense looking to go for some sort of soundbite. You have people spreading nonsense, spreading hate to try to take over that room. That's the real issue in the room.
Because you're not making your parents proud by being rude and disruptive and discourteous. We are happy to answer a question. Respect the people around you so that they can hear. You don't play by the same rules. Let me tell you something. I bet you engage and go on online dating because you're impressing no one here to get a date in person.
So here's the thing, though. A significant part of this protesting wasn't from a group on the left. This was actually right-wing activists who were protesting. I want to bring in Chief Media Correspondent Brian Stelter with me, and also Jintak Han is with us. He's senior staff photographer and news reporter at UCLA's student newspaper. You were at the event, and tell us, what did you see, and what was the feeling in the room? It's so noisy in this video. Just give us a sense of what was actually going on.
It felt a lot like a normal Trump rally sometimes. At times, yes, there was a lot of chanting of USA. There was, towards the end, they were America First. There was one protester in the back who actively protested, standing by herself. She was wearing a hijab, at times directly criticizing the people on stage.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing is this infighting within the conservative movement about what conservatism is in the Trump age. A lot of the voices you're hearing booing Donald Trump Jr. are far right-wing activists. They've been going to these Charlie Kirk Turning Point USA events for weeks now, for many days now, disrupting these events because they think people like Donald Trump Jr. are not conservative enough. Now, they say they just want nationalism. They say they want even more restrictive immigration proposals. But really what they're doing is they're defining themselves as Christian, conservative, white, straight Americans, and they're trafficking in racism and homophobia and anti-Semitism. These are some of the folks that were also in Charlottesville, not all, but some of them. And they've been trying to disrupt these events with Charlie Kirk and now Donald Trump Jr. because they think that Trumpism is not conservative enough. They want even more restrictive immigration measures, for example. So what we're really seeing, Brianna, is this strain of white identity politics and how it's affecting the GOP.
There's a lot to unpack right there. First off, the crowd was chanting Q&A, so question and answer session. Of course, Don Jr. is not going to do that. He's not the quickest on his feet. He would probably say something that's incriminating against him or his family. The part where his girlfriend stands up and goes wild on the crowd and starts telling them that they're not making their parents proud. That's wild considering the fact that she's marrying into an extremely corrupt family herself. But then the way that she started saying that they wouldn't be able to impress anyone, and so they're all using online dating. Something really struck a nerve with her right there. Then as it goes back to the CNN analysts, they talk about how Turning Point USA is a conservative group, but you're seeing infighting among conservatives right now. Keep in point, Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk, this is the guy that is mainly over it. He debated Kyle Kulinski a few weeks ago at Politicon. But the fact that they would be shouting down Don Jr., that is pretty big. There is a divide between conservatives. There's You're conservative like Mitt Romney, and then there's far right like Donald Trump defending lunacy, like Lindsey Graham and Chris Stewart and some others that are in Congress. And while these ideas are important to focus on, notice that CNN, they don't spend very much time covering issues like NAFTA and jobs going overseas. They don't cover people that are dying because they're unable to receive medical care. They aren't reporting on issues that the billionaire class really doesn't want them reporting on. They stick to the script, and they talk about Trump a lot, and they talk about specific politicians, but they don't always talk as much about larger ideas in society.